You don't need new gloves, you don't need new technique, and you don't need a new bat. Although a new bat would be really good. But what you do need are 3 mindset shifts that a lot of cricketers just simply don't make. Hi, I'm Damien and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I simply help batsmen overcome their self-limiting beliefs so they can perform to their potential out on the field. Because when I was a young batsman, I had self-limiting beliefs that restricted me. And once I overcame those, my results on the field certainly improved. So if you're a batsman who scores your 20s or 30s, self-critical of yourself, overthinking, hard to stay focused, stick around because this video will certainly be what you're looking for. I used to think my biggest problem was my technique. I would go and look at other batsmen who were scoring runs and see how they would bat. I might even change my stance, I changed my grip, but all those things were wrong. I was kind of doing the wrong things. What I should have been doing was changing my mindset and way of thinking, because that wasn't growing with me. That was just holding me back. I mean, look at Steve Smith, for example. His technique, completely unorthodox. His mindset, absolutely relentless. This guy knows himself. He knows his strong points, he knows his weaknesses, and he knows what he's capable of. Now, that didn't just happen overnight. That's something that he worked on. You could actually see this guy over the years completely change his whole demeanor, his whole mindset for the better. So think about your own journey. You know, you might be a batsman who only scores 20s or 30s, but there may have been a couple of times where you did score a 70 or a 60 or whatever it might be. That wasn't luck. That was a mindset shift, even if it was for a small period of time. But that just shows that you are capable of that. What you're wanting to do is to shift that mindset so it's more consistent with you and your identity. So if you're keen to look at that, let's stick around and let's jump into that now. So the first mindset shift is self-judgment to self-awareness. Now, self-judgment is simply your negative self-talk, and we all do it. So when you go out for a low score or you haven't performed to your expectations, what are you saying to yourself? I bet it's something like, I'm useless, I'm hopeless, or that always happens to me, or here we go again. And it probably doesn't help if it's reinforced by other people as well, whether that's a coach, a parent, or a teammate. You know it, this is what happens. And I'm not telling you something that you don't know, and I'm not telling you something that can't be fixed either, because it can be fixed. Because when you're self-aware, you learn. When you self-judge, you go into a spiral, and you know it, it just manifests. So next time things like this happen, you go out for a low score, be curious about it. Work out what went on, rather than beat yourself up, because that's not going to serve you any good whatsoever. Now, the second mindset shift is going from motivation to identity. Now, in cricket, we hear a lot about motivation, all right? But motivation fails under pressure. Under pressure, you fall back to your identity, and that's what you believe about yourself. So motivation's like having an energy drink on the Saturday morning or just before the game. It'll get you up for that short period of time, but then you'll come crashing down. So you cannot rely on motivation. It's your identity and what you believe about yourself that really matters. So if you believe you're just a 20s batsman, that's what you'll score, regardless of how fired up you are. But when you start shifting that belief to, I'm a batsman who finishes games, that's when the mind really starts to shift. So the shift is stop relying on motivation and work on your identity and your beliefs about yourself. Because we don't play to our goals, we play to our beliefs. And the third mindset shift is from being in your comfort zone to a growth zone. In your comfort zone, we just maintain what we're comfortable with. You know, for example, you might get to training and there's an opportunity to face the fast bowlers. They've now got new balls. Or you can go in the medium pacers net or the spinners net. So if you choose the latter, well, that's keeping in your comfort zone. But if you're choosing the pace bowlers with the new ball, that's stepping out of your comfort zone. So you don't grow when you stay in your comfort zone. You grow when you step out of your comfort zone. So every elite cricketer now talks about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Makes sense, doesn't it? So you've got to really shift your mindset there to step out of your comfort zone, put yourself in uncomfortable situations to become comfortable in those. I know it's a bit of a tongue twister, but it makes sense. It's the only way you grow. You can stay what you're doing, get to training and just do the comfortable things. But then you can't get to a Saturday or a match and expect success. It doesn't happen that way. You've really got to work on that. And it's continuous stretching your comfort zone. So Tuesday night, you might just face the fast bowlers for a period of time. Put yourself in that situation. So there's the 3 mindset shifts. But let's put that into action. Write down a positive affirmation. Now, affirmations are simply a statement of belief about an outcome that you want that probably hasn't happened yet. So an affirmation could be, I am a calm, confident batsman and score runs consistently. So that's just a basic one to write down to work on. You could have your own as well. Second thing is, I want you to now assess your outcomes, say for the next 2 to 3 matches. So be very conscious of what you say to yourself. And I want you to stop that if it creeps in, but question things. Why did that happen? What can you do next time about that? So just be very conscious about your performances of the next, say, 2 to 3 matches. And thirdly, when you get to training, put yourself out of your comfort zone. Now that could be going in the fast bowlers' nets and asking them to bowl short balls at you, all right? Not to punish you or anything like that, but just to get you out of your comfort zone. That might be an example. Another example might be you go into the nets and the consequence of you, say, going out is you're out. That's your session done. So that puts a lot more on the line in terms of your batting. The other thing might be to no warm-up, straight into the nets and start batting and have that consequences. If you go out, you're out. So you really want to take yourself out of your comfort zone, all right, intentionally, and just see how you feel about that. So there are 3 things. Write down the positive affirmation, assess, say, the next 2 or 3 games just to see how your performances went. And thirdly, at training, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Try some other things that you're not comfortable with. If this video resonated with you, pop over to my website at thecenturyclub.com.au, and there you can grab my ebook. It's a free ebook there if you're wanting to start there. You could also look at the mini courses that I have. There's a free mini course there called the Triple Mindset Mastery. I firmly believe that if you're going to do any work on changing your mindset, that's the mini course you want to look at first. So also there's the 6-week self-paced mastery course or the 6-week intensive that you can work one-on-one with me. But in the meantime, check out this video here. This talks about affirmations, and that will certainly help you in terms of changing your beliefs. Bye for now.